Oh man, it's really hard to find a place, the location. And I'm having pickled beets. It's so good. Mm. One jar, a big jar for $10. At the flea market. It's so good. I don't know if I should make longer video because I really don't want to bore you guys to death. Okay, Doki? This is so good, guys. Thank you guys so much for continuing watching my video, and I appreciate you guys comments. Just finish the beets because I can't talk while I'm eating, really. You know, I lost my concentration. I might cry. I don't like it. uh, okay, I'm gonna continue where I left off. And so he moved into the barracks, right? I tell you what, guys, I don't wanna feel that again. That feeling of lost, everything else. Oh my gosh, guys, I was in the position that I really don't know what to do. I can't just call my sister in Colorado because you know why? Every time you pick up the phone before, it's like 25 cents a minute. Back then, there's no cell phone, guys. That, hey, we can just pick up the phone and communicate to people, right? No, not back then. It's gonna cost you. And, oh my gosh, guys, I'm telling you, I don't want to wish this to nobody. This kind of feeling that you just, so dark. Everything is so dark around you. And, but what else can I do, guys? Luckily, here in America, the week program, like, you can have some free milk for your kids. So I didn't have to worry about my babies being hungry at that time. And we had like eggs and stuff, you know, milk, cereal, and stuff like that. But it's the fear, guys, that if this guy is not gonna come back to in our lives, what am I gonna do? And you know, this feeling that the emptiness again of if I can't provide my children, I'm gonna lose them. That kind of feelings, guys, is worse than you can imagine. All I can do at that time was silently pray, and I was just asking him silently that give me more strength because I'm all these kids have. You know, I really don't know what could happen to this marriage, but I want to keep my children together. So I need to be strong because I don't want to leave my children, and I don't want something happen to my children that if I cannot put myself together, I'm gonna lose my children. That's what scared me the most, that kind of feeling. I think about 2 weeks he was there. I really can't recall, guys, how long he was in barracks, and he came home. And it's just like nothing happened. Never say sorry. No. So at that time, I was just mute. Because I don't wanna, we women, we can handle this situation. You know, to be silent for a while and play along with the music, right? We're good at this, especially if you have children. And all I was doing, guys, every time I was down, pray, silent pray. That's all. I wasn't brought up to go to church. I wasn't introduced to a Bible or anything, any religion. But my grandma, when I was with my grandma, before we go sleep, we pray. I don't even know where she got that prayer from, but and I just followed her, and I remember that prayer, you know. And so after a while, I got, I was asking him later on when everything is fine and dandy. That's when I start asking question. I wanna get to know this guy, and because I'm so confused. I didn't know marriage was like this, you know. So I start asking him question about his mom, about his dad, because I never met his mom. And according to him, his mom never worked. His dad was always working. And his mom died in 1984. So we met in 86. So she died 2 years before we met. So this guy is not like a broken home. Attitude of his dad. First time meeting him, I didn't like it. And then I asked him about what happened to that woman that who left him and took everything. I was being nosy at this point. And he told me that this woman, he met her in Japan when he was stationed in Japan before the Philippines. He was in Japan for 2 years. And so he met this woman at a club in Japan, and her visa or something ran out. And so this woman need help to get back to the Philippines. So he sent her to the Philippines ahead before his time to go to being stationed in the Philippines to get an apartment. Okay? So that's what she did. She got an apartment, and all his stuff, he sent it from Japan, he sent it straight to the apartment. And anyway, when he got to the Philippines, this woman had 2 little boys in their apartment. 8 years old and 5 years old. He said. And he did like that because she lied to him. This woman was a lot older than him, he said. So he kicked her out. He told her to leave, and then he went to work. By the time he came home from work, she emptied everything. So I guess that was the story about that. And then I asked him, remember the roommate got mad at me because of the woman that you used to go out with? And he said, yeah, she got a 8 years old little boy too. And she was older than me. So that didn't work. And I come to realize that that I was young, 18 years old, compared to these 2 women that he discharged. And my little girl was just 6 months old. I think this is what my theory was, that he was looking for a woman. He was looking for a naive woman, I think. So I got to know him a little bit better at this point. Okay? And after that, guys, I was thinking I need to do something. I feel like I cannot disappoint my kids. So I continue learning how to speak English, reading the books that I bought from yard sale, guys. And, I kind of like developing myself into reading. And you know what, guys? When you read, it takes your mind off of the stress. Yeah, believe me. I'm not so much of a reading person anymore because I'm busy. I'm gonna drive during the night in the big truck, and then respond all the question and all the co-YouTuber here in YouTube. So really, and besides now at this point in my life, I'm content of my English and what I know. I don't care about the grammar or my grammar is bad. As long as I can speak English, that's all matters to me. They can make fun of me, I don't care. I could care less. You know, I improve myself, that's all I know. So anyway, I just continue to be silent mode all the time, guys. All I know is my children is safe here in America, you know. And to make the long story short again, there's times that he's okay. I'm sweating, but it feels good though. The sun is up. I think it's 1 o'clock now, guys. A lot of time I just stayed mute, guys. It was awful feeling. And you know, you have these 2 little kids. You have no job. I was in the position that I was so helpless, guys. I had nobody but these 2 helpless little kids. It was awful. It was. And then another thing too, guys, that's why I bite my tongue as hard as I can to avoid the fight. Because at that time, I need to be here 2 years in order for me to have 10 years green card. He still can send me back to the Philippines and my eldest daughter. And where's my youngest daughter gonna go? That was the worst fear I've ever had, that I'm gonna lose one of my children if I'm gonna continue fighting with him. So I just stayed mute. Okay, to make the long story short, here's the 2 years in California. And yay, I got my green card for 10 years. So that made me feel a lot better, guys, because if anything happened, heck, at least I'm here in America 10 years, you know, and my daughter too. Because her and my paperwork are the same, entered here in America. They said don't remember the bad, remember the good. But with this guy, there was a lot of bad to remember. That's all I'm gonna say. So he got re-enlisted, right? He got re-enlisted means he can stay longer, another contract in military, more years in military. That same year, my daughter, eldest daughter, started pre-K. Yeah, oh, she was cute. And the school there too, and the pre-K school is just walking distance to from Navy housing. See, so I just put my little one into the stroller and we walk her to her school. And back and forth again. You know, I enjoyed that moment right there. You know, when my children were little, they're the one who keep me together, not to go insane of the situation. They keep me straight. I'm gonna be strong for my children. They needed me the most. So I overlook a lot of situation with this guy because of my children. They were the main reason, guys. Oh yeah, because you know, when the whole time I was with my grandma and grandpa, I didn't know who, I didn't mother. I have no clue what she looked like. And I made that promise that when I have children someday, I'm not gonna let them grow up that not knowing me. That promise there was hard to break. So in order for me to keep that promise, I need to be strong for them. Because of them, I don't want them to have a broken home at such a young age. So I made it better for them, you know. And for that, I was happy to see my children happy, because this guy wasn't abusive to our children anyway, you know, and only to me. And then not too long after that, guys, my sister called from Colorado, and she told me that she gonna stop by in California because they're headed to Tennessee. Her husband got out military. Yeah, they were headed to Tennessee. So they stopped by and see my baby, you know, and we keep in touch, of course. And at this time too, guys, I got hold of my real birth mother. Yeah, my aunt in Alameda, California, her sister, gave me her phone number. You know, and I called her, and she seems like she really don't care. In her voice, for the first time that I talked to her on the phone, there was nothing. But I just brushed that off, you know. That didn't discourage me. And then before we went to be moved to another place, he took another 1 month leave, you know. And we was gonna go back again to we're headed to visit his dad again in Pennsylvania, because at this time he likes to go hunting, you know, hunting deer. And then found out from my aunt in Alameda, California, that my birth mother was in Virginia, and she's working in the Navy Exchange. At this time too, guys, my friend from the bar, the one that who took me in that night, she was in Virginia at this time, and her husband was stationed there. So I told my husband, since we're going to Pennsylvania, I want to stop at in Virginia and look for my mother, and he agreed. My aunt told me what's her name. When she became a U.S. citizen, she changed her name. So she told me what's her name, currently name now. Okay, so we took a trip again to Pennsylvania, and I stopped by at my friend's house. And then the next day, me and my husband and my 2 kids went on base, look for my mother at the Navy Exchange. And so we separated. My husband said, okay, you go that way, I go this way. We were looking for the name tag, because I don't know what she looked like. And then a few minutes, my husband said, come here, come here. You know, so I went over there, and he said, did you see that woman? I said, where? Right there, behind the jewelry stand. I said, yeah. Oh, he said, come on, let's go. That's your mother. I said, how do you know? He said, because you look like her. And so we all walked towards over there. And she was assisting other lady, you know, other customer. And then so after that customer left, she, can I help you? She said. I was already crying, guys. I can't help it. And then my husband said, hi, this is Patricia. And then she said, oh, hi, Patricia. And then my husband, like, you know, my husband repeated the name, the whole name, my last name and everything. And she was like, "Uy, Patring," she said. She wasn't surprised, guys. No, no, she wasn't surprised. I used to get so emotional about this when I think about this, but now I don't feel my emotion anymore. You know, she didn't even cry, guys. I was crying and going on. And it's just like, I was so disappointed at the same time. Because all those years that I was longing for a mother. And then when I saw her, it was just like rejection to me. Big time. That's how I felt. You know? Yeah. And then we took pictures. We hugged. The hug wasn't like happy hug. It was weird. It was really weird. And I called her mom. It was weird. Everything was weird to me. Because all of a sudden I'm calling this woman mama. And then I don't. And she have a cold response towards me. Oh, it was so awful, guys. You know? Oh, yeah. I never forget that. This is in 1992 when this happened. Can you imagine that? All my childhood, I was longing for a mother love, and then finally met her, and it's just like, who are you? Oh, well, guys, I need to cut this short again. And I'll see you in my next video. Okay, guys, thank you for listening again. Okay. Okay, have a good day, everyone. Bye bye.